I'm your host, Jay, and welcome to another episode of the Hype Club podcast. Hello, everyone. Another beautiful, blessed day in the neighborhood. I want to thank every listeners, whether from day one or new ones. I just want to say I appreciate you all. To keep up with the Hype Club podcast, make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms on Instagram and Facebook at the Hype Club Podcast and Twitter at the Hype Club Pod, or simply go to thehypeclubpodcast.com. Subscribe, rate, and review us on Apple Podcasts. Now get yourself some hot tea because we have plenty on this episode. Let's go! On today's episode, we have a huge guest. He's a Bravo celebrity connoisseur and the host of the mega popular podcast, Behind the Velvet Rope. Please welcome David Yontef. Hi, David. How are you?
How are you today?
I'm good. Excited to talk to you.
I'm excited to be here. I'm having like my second cup of coffee, so I'm slowly waking up as we speak, although it is 1:00 here in New York City.
Oh, here too in Montreal, Canada. Woo woo.
We're on the same time zone.
Yes. Have you ever been to Canada before?
I did. I've been everywhere. I've been to 55 countries in all 7 continents, so I am a traveler, but Montreal is a fun city, I have to say.
Yes, it is. It is.
Oh my God, you guys know how to have fun there.
Yes, indeed. Before we start dishing on everything Housewives and the latest trending news, please introduce yourself to my listeners in order for them to know to know you better, from why and how you started Behind the Velvet Rope to interviewing some of the most popular stars on Bravo.
So early on, I was a fan like everyone else. I was a fan of reality TV right from the beginning, The Hills, The Simple Life, like I'm taking you back now. So when Bravo kind of started coming about, I was like, I love reality TV. This is probably the channel for me. So I watched Bravo right from the beginning, like Queer Eye and Blowout with Jonathan Anton and like Tabitha Salon Takeover. So then when they started The Housewives, I was immediately hooked. And living in New York City helps. I was like, I don't understand everyone who just talks about all these people all day. I'm like, I want to write myself into the story. So I pretty early on was like, I just want to become friends with these people. It's just that simple. Why am I going to watch them on the TV when they're, 20 blocks from where I live? So I really set about to become friends with a lot of the people that were on Bravo, like the New York Housewives, the New Jersey Housewives. We have Summer House, which is filmed in the Hamptons. So there's just a lot of local shows here. So I really slowly started to become friends with a lot of the people on Bravo. And then I was hanging out with a lot of these people, and I'm like, no one's really talking about all these stories of what happens when you're hanging out with these people. Like I'm observing a lot of things here that people probably want to know about.
Yes.
So, right? I mean, and like, listen, if anything is really confidential, I'm not going to repeat it. If someone's like, for instance, on Real Housewives of New York, I've known about like why Ramona and Elise fell out. I knew that they fell out like way back, so if something is really confidential, is going to be seen on TV and I'm like sworn to secrecy, I'm not going to talk about it. But I was like, I should probably start a podcast, and there's enough fun stuff to talk about. So when I started my podcast, it was just my little stories about like, I was in Florida last night and I had dinner with Kelly Dodd and Ramona. That was my kickoff episode. And people went crazy. They're like, this really happened at the dinner. I'm like, I couldn't make up these stories if I tried. So it started with these funny stories about like just hanging out with all these Bravo celebrities. And now it's turned into a 5-day-a-week show of really interviewing all of these people. So we're like 5 days a week now.
I think we all want to be you, okay? With Ramona and all those housewives. What a life.
But here's the thing.
That's amazing.
I mean, listen, I'm not complaining. This is what I set out for. But here's the thing. Be careful what you wish for, because a lot of these people are so freaking high maintenance. And so it is a great life. I'm not taking that away from myself, but oh my God, like you get text and calls at all hours, and people are just like, this one's mad at that one. And you're like, oh my God, like I'm not on the show, people. Like, why are you calling me?
Who from the Housewives and all franchise, you would say is the most annoying?
Oh my God. Isn't that well? Listen, I mean, Ramona's a handful. I mean,
Yes,
you
yes.
see that on TV. It's really true, though. But see, this is why I love Ramona. It's really not an act. Like, that is just Ramona. Like, what you think you're watching is really what you're watching. I mean, that's how she is. There's something about her, though. Like, don't you just love her, though? There's something endearing about her, even though she's not lovable.
At sometimes she pisses me off, but at other time I'm like, wow, that's great, you know?
Right.
So
Like,
it's a
it's just
50-50.
she's so entertaining. I'm just
Yes.
like, oh my God. Like, so you just can't, like, at this dinner, for instance, that I described. I mean, I sat down next to her and she was acting like she didn't know me. Then she was giving me an attitude. And I'm like, Ramona, I'm like, if you don't want to deal with me and you don't like me, I'm just going to sit here next to you and I'm just going to love you. I'm just going to sit right next to you right here and I'm just going to love you. And you can have your attitude with me. And then she came around, she took a sip of her drink, and then we had a great time. So, I mean, you just have to kind of sometimes put Ramona in her place.
Wow. One day I hope I'm gonna meet her and see for myself the
Just don't
mess
ask,
that she is.
just don't ask for a picture. Just don't ask for a picture.
Oh, that's good. I don't like pictures.
Well, you know what? There you go. Then you might get along with her. You can say hi. She'll say hi and blah blah. But yeah, as long as you don't ask her for a picture.
I want, when I'm gonna meet her, if I ever do, I'm gonna ask her what brand of Pinot Grigio that she drinks because I bought one and it was disgusting.
Really?
Yes, and
Did
I
you
was like,
buy did you buy the Ramona Pinot Grigio?
uh, does it says Ramona?
Well, not anymore. She had a line of Pinot Grigio. It was called Ramona Pinot Grigio. It was way back in the day.
Oh
But
no,
I
it's
don't
not
even,
that.
yeah, I don't even think, listen, Pinot Grigio is not my favorite drink either. I'm more of a vodka person, but that's just me. See,
Same
well,
here.
yeah, I mean, like, just go straight to the vodka, right?
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
So what about last Sunday, I believe August 2nd, it was the season premiere of The Real Housewife of Potomac. Do you watch that
Yes.
show?
Oh, yes. Did you watch it too?
Yes. The last season was a disaster and I couldn't stand Candy ass. Oh, I mean Candice. Yeah. Okay.
Really? Well, I think you're not alone. I think a lot of people don't really care for Candace. I think this season, though, I don't know. I've heard that it is going to be and I think that I agree just based on I think this is going to be a great season of Potomac. I think this is it. I think this is going to be their best season yet.
Do you think that they get the respect that they deserve if they deserve it?
I don't think they do. Somehow Potomac is just the least respected franchise. I really think so. I was just talking to someone else. I did an interview and someone asked me, like, what do I think is the most underrated franchise? I actually think Dallas is the most underrated franchise. I don't think Dallas gets the respect that it deserves either.
I don't like Dallas.
A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. I think, and what do I know? But I think with my inside sources, I think Dallas has one more season. Like, they need to make it or break it this next season on Dallas.
Oh, do tell. We want
Well,
to know.
well, I mean, listen, I don't work for Bravo, so I mean, I can't be so sure, but in my opinion, Dallas needs to bring the ratings, and the ratings need to be good when that show comes back, or I think it's going to be the last season of Dallas. That's just my opinion. I've talked to some other people kind of in the know that kind of agree that this is just kind of what I'm hearing. But what do I know? I mean, listen, you got to bring the ratings. And I mean, that's the thing about the Housewives. Like, everyone is so obsessed about the Housewives all the time. But if you look at the numbers, like, Below Deck is one of the highest rated shows on Bravo. Like, there's so many shows like Married to Medicine. the Atlanta one, that's higher rated than a lot of the Housewives. So there's all these other shows that don't have this huge buzz that are like Below Deck is one of the highest rated shows on all of Bravo. And you probably don't even watch it, do you?
I don't.
I get
But
it.
it's okay.
Look, there's a lot of other Bravo shows that you can be watching, right?
Exactly.
I get it.
I want to I want to know your thought about the whole Candace rant on the whole Kanye situation.
The whole fact that her and Monique got physical.
No, the rant. She had the rant. She did an IG live, and she was ranting about the Kardashians not taking care of Kanye. And yeah, did you hear about that?
I did. So I don't know. I mean, Candace is like, I don't know what's going on with her. I mean, first of all, I don't think that, Kim Kardashian is losing any sleep over what Candace thinks.
Exactly.
But it is strange. Like I know about it. I didn't see it. I saw parts of it. I don't really understand. Like, I don't know. To me, it's just like, are you trying to get yourself into the media? I mean,
exactly.
That's like, right? Like, that's like where my mind goes. Like, why are you talking about this?
That's what I said. I said, that's what you call cloud chaser. She's cloud chasing.
Yes. And it really turns me off anytime someone is looking for a headline or looking to be in the news. It's just the thirst. I just hate the thirst. And that isn't really even like directed towards Candace. It's just like in general, I hate the thirst.
Some people, their thirst is dry. Okay. And Candy, I call her Candy ass. You know why? Because she always makes an ass out of her.
So you're Team Monique.
Yes.
I get it. I think a lot of people are.
Because it seems like she always wants to be the center of drama without being the drama. I don't know how to say it. It's like she wants to be in drama, but as long as it's not about her, she wants to know about everybody else's businesses.
She stirs it up, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And if somebody retaliates and says something, suddenly she's the victim. I don't like that. If
she's
you can
not
dish
your favorite.
it, take it. No. If you
Who's
can
your favorite on Potomac then?
Favorite one, Karen.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
The Grand Dame. I mean, she's probably my favorite too.
She's funny. She knows how to give it and take it, and she's not messing around.
I think that's a really good one.
Yeah. And yours?
I think Karen. I mean, I really do like, Giselle's, wonderful, but I think Karen, there's just something about Karen that it's like, look, she's the Grand Dame. Like, it's a great name. Like, I just kind of love Karen.
Do you know, talking about Giselle, do you know where her hatred comes from for Monique? Why does she hate Monique so much?
I don't know. I'm still not really understanding where that all comes from, and I think it's going to be interesting, like, as the season goes on, to see if that changes. Because I know that in this fight, which got physical, my understanding is a lot of the cast takes Candace's side. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, because they don't like Monique. And for what reason, who knows? Is it because she's younger? Or she has 4 houses?
Well, I have to read up on who started this fight because, that could be part of it, like the whole jealousy. Like Monique's husband has done very well, and they have money. I mean, that's the thing about these housewives from any franchises. A lot of it's smoke and mirrors. I mean, a lot of them don't have like real money, you know what I mean? Where they're really comfortable.
Oh, do tell.
Well, I mean, they have money. I mean, they're not living in the streets, but like the real money, if you take Beverly Hills out of it, like I think a lot of the other housewives, have overextended themselves, I mean, Karen's now, we see that she's moved back into a big house in Potomac, so that's good. But I think with Monique, a lot of it could be jealousy.
Yes, because like you said, she has the husband, she has like 4 houses, she's younger than all of them, well, except for Ashley. So why? Like
Yes.
since the first moment that Giselle saw Monique, that was it. Like she disliked her until now. Like we're season 5.
Yeah.
I bet
Uh,
you if you would ask Giselle, tell me why do you hate Monique, she won't have a valid answer.
you don't think she'll have an
No,
answer? I
no.
mean, you're probably right.
Because from season 1 to now, I can't figure out why. Like what Monique did to her. Nothing. Like
Nothing.
there's some housewives like okay, like you can pinpoint, like okay, Ramona did this, Bethany did,
Right,
but
right.
Giselle and Monique, I'm like, she didn't do anything. So, anyways, and what about Robin? Do you think like she's a bore?
I think Robin needs to bring it this season. Yes. I think I think Robin is very nice, but I think this is Robin's season. This is something else. I mean, again, I don't work for Bravo, so what do I know? But I think from what I've heard, I think this is Robin's season to bring it. I think Robin needs to bring it, have an interesting storyline, something better happen with her and Juan. I think otherwise Robin is possibly going to lose her job. I truly do. She's a little boring, right?
Yes, definitely. I don't see nothing that she brings to the show. Like whether she's there or not, she's blank. Like what's the other one? Teddy Medicamp.
Oh
That
God,
one,
yes.
oh my God. I still don't understand how how she still is on the show. Like she doesn't bring anything.
I would agree as well. I would agree as well. I mean, especially on Beverly Hills, where I think everyone else is bringing it. So I don't really understand how Teddy's still there. I just think a lot of these shows are going to have to switch it up. I think they're going to have to change a lot up for next season.
Yeah, especially Beverly Hills, because since like 3 season or maybe last season with LVP, how they did LVP wrong was shocking to me, but in another way, not surprised because you have Kyle that I think always was jealous of LVP, but that's me. And you have I still don't understand how Dorit is, that's how you say Dorit,
Yeah,
um,
Dory.
how she turned on her best friend that was Lisa Vanderpump.
I mean, that was her really good friend forever.
And for Poppy Gate,
I mean, that's the thing about these shows. It's always sad to me when like you have these friends in real life that like you would probably still be friends if you weren't on the show. That's
yeah.
when to me it's like it's a larger discussion of like what reality TV does to people. Because I really do believe people like that, even Kyle and Lisa, might still be friends if there wasn't a TV involved.
Yes,
So that's when it's like, well, that's just sad.
because throughout the years, the seasons, like you could see their friendship, how deep it was, and then to see it like
Yeah.
ended the way that it did for something like Poppy Gate,
Yeah. It's like, what's going on, right?
it doesn't make sense. It's like it was planned. They had to figure out something because at that time, we all know LVP had just lost a loss in her family, so she wasn't like 100%. So they saw the best opportunity to bring her even down, and they succeeded.
Yeah, they did. I still think one day Lisa might be back on Beverly Hills. I
Yeah,
still think that. Yeah, I
I think she's
just do.
having a new show about
Yes.
Vanderpump Puppies. Yeah, something like that.
Yes, she is on the spin off online. She's definitely having that.
Great. I can't wait to see. Do you think she's gonna do like Vanderpump Rules, but in Vegas, in Las Vegas?
It's funny they're talking about that. I think that would be phenomenal. Well, that's what they were talking about at some point if they were talking about like Vanderpump not coming back, which I think it is coming back. But they were talking about taking Sheena and spinning Sheena off and having her go to Vegas, not to move, but just to I mean, obviously, if someone's like, here's a bunch of money, go live in Vegas for 2 months, you're going to take it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, who's going to say no to that? She'll bring the boyfriend. That would be a great show. Sheena in Vegas.
That would
Helping,
be amazing.
right? See? You're already excited. I think it would be, amazing as well.
Sheena is getting a lot of hate. Maybe not now, but before. And I'm like, why so much hate? She's
Well, it's
fun.
funny. She's fun. She was on my show. So I've interviewed a lot of the Vanderpump. I've interviewed Randall. I interviewed Max and Brett. This is all on my Behind the Velvet Rope podcast. I mean, I know Max and Brett are gone. I interviewed Charlie and I interviewed Sheena. Sheena was a great interview. She was wonderful. She was on time. Sheena, and when I spoke to Sheena on my show and interviewed her, the thing that I really got is Sheena's smarter than we all think. She's smarter than we think. Like, she's in on the joke. She made boy crazy merch now. Like, she's trying to catch, like, Sheena's smart.
Definitely.
I'm glad you like her because I really like her too.
Sometimes the people that don't look too smart, people think that they're not smart, but they're the one that's smarter than the rest of us,
Exactly.
Without her, the show would be boring.
Exactly. No, she's great. I love Sheena. So
Right.
that's, if you didn't listen to my interview with her, you have to, because she's just like, she's just wonderful. Like, says it like it is. And she was so pleasant. So I'm like a huge Sheena fan.
And what you thought about the firing of Stassi Schroeder?
I mean, look, I really believe, this is why I've always said this. I believe that the sum of the whole is greater than its parts. Like, even when Bethany got fired, like, not fired. I mean, Bethany left. But to me, it's like, okay, like, did I love Bethany on Real Housewives of New York?
She got fired or she left?
No, she left. So let me just correct that. Bethany left. Bethany did not get fired. But when she left, everyone was up in arms. And it's like, to me, she was a great part of the show, but the show went on without her. Same thing with Lisa Vanderpump. I was like, okay, well, she was great on. So, I mean, I think, to me, these shows go on no matter who is on or not. Does that make sense? Like,
it makes sense, but Beverly Hills, going back to Beverly Hills, I don't think
it's ever been the same.
No, because those two, the last season and this season, all they've been doing, it's bully. I called it Beverly Bullies.
It's true. Well, what's strange is like how Beverly Hills has like, they take one storyline and it's the whole season.
Yeah,
like,
it's the whole season.
It's like nothing else matters. That kind of means like you have a boring show.
Exactly. Like, they don't want to talk about themselves, their legal issues and everything else. So
the real stuff going on.
Yeah. So they would target someone that was new, like maybe 1 year that they were in Beverly Hills, and then bullies them.
Exactly.
That's what's happening with Denise, because she just came last year. And now that LVP, she has left. So who they gonna bully? Kyle? No, because she wants to be the queen. Dorit? No, because she's Kyle's friend. Lisa Rinna? No, nobody gonna touch her. And then who's left? I don't even remember the other one.
And I agree. I don't like the whole like let's gang up on one person mentality. I don't really like it.
And they're hating on Denise because allegedly she may have a threesome. Who cares? That's her life. Why you're doing a whole season about one person and an alleged threesome?
Exactly. And I mean, at least for me, I don't know about for you, I'm at the point where like I don't care. Like, this isn't whether she had a threesome or not. Who cares? Yeah. It's like, it's not, I don't know. It's not a big enough like story. Like, this isn't like international espionage. Like,
exactly.
Who cares? Like,
that shows you that
I know
the other women, they don't have nothing in their life. Nothing, like, example, like Kyle. She don't have any relevance because the Real Housewives of Bullies, like I called it, that's all she's known for. Okay, what? You're going to tell me when she was young and Halloween? Who cares? We're talking now. If you see Kyle Richards, like, you know her for Beverly Hills, nothing else.
Exactly.
And don't tell me, oh, she's a designer. Designing what? Like
Exactly.
she just put her name on a collection that somebody else created that she had no idea about, if we go back to last season, and she's calling herself a designer.
Well, also, as she said, she's Denise fucking Richards, which is true. Like, she doesn't need this show.
Exactly. Like,
You know, I mean, I do feel bad for Denise of like, you know, I mean, I guess, listen, you sign up for this. I get it.
yeah, to show your life, to talk about,
But if something,
your
yeah, but if,
businesses and personal life, but not that personal. And it's
exactly.
from episode 1 to the last one.
And it happened off camera. So if it, I mean, if it happens or not, it's like, who cares? And it was off camera. So why is this now? I mean, that's my other thing with Beverly Hills. They've taken 2 seasons to take 2 things that didn't happen on the show.
I'm
Same thing
telling
with
you.
Puppygate. I mean, Puppygate was off camera. So it's like you're now taking stuff that doesn't happen. It happens in between seasons. And it's like this show is that slow that you have to now like make stuff, like bring that on. It's just weird to me. It's just weird.
I'm telling you, it's because the other housewives, they refuse to show
Their lives.
what's really going on. Remember when the season that Kim Richards said something about Rena's husband, and then
Yes.
Rena quickly shut it down. You know,
Yes.
she can talk about others' husbands and others' life, but when it comes to Harry and her, it's like back up. But it doesn't work like that.
And I like Sutton. I had Sutton on my show, but I think that Sutton she's not going to be back.
Oh, no?
I doubt it. I mean, this is just my prediction. I mean, she was on my show. I interviewed her. I think she's amazing. I love her dearly. I just don't
enjoy it?
I just don't think they're going to ask her back. That's just me. I just don't think that they're going to ask her back.
And Erica, like, what do you think about Erica?
Listen, I love Erica, but no, she doesn't show anything going on in her life. Nothing.
Finally, someone.
She's like great. She's great to look at. She's interesting, but like she really gets by without any. I mean, which is more power to her. She's kind of like a legend in that sense. If she's able to get by and have all these people love her without showing anything, that's pretty.
Without showing anything.
Yeah.
Have we ever saw her mom, her friends? I mean, I don't recall. No.
Her mother, yes, but friends, no. Once we saw, a few scenes with Mr. Girardi, but not really.
Not really. But like you said, she was able to make people love her without showing.
So that says a lot, That says a lot. Like that's something.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, that's like what I'm saying. So like the joke is kind of on us because she's right. I mean, the show is existing.
Let's go with Teddy. Teddy. I call her the boring bad actress living in the shadow of her dad, Mellencamp. She's not doing anything for nobody. She's fake, and sometimes it's uncomfortable to watch.
It's probably time for her to go, right?
She needs to exit. And most of the times, I'm watching her and I'm like, and the Oscar goes to Teddy. Like, it's so obvious that what she's doing, it's fake and it's not sincere. I think that's the turn off. Don't you think?
I get it. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Listen, I just find her the same as like a Robin Dixon. I don't think she's that interesting.
Yeah, they're both in the same category of
I
board.
just don't think that she is that interesting to me.
The rate it's 50-50.
Some days you like her and some days you don't.
Yes.
I get it.
And her fashion.
Her fashion is, my God. It's
on point.
I've never seen something like it before. Yeah. It's so good.
On point.
And
I think she has a stylist, or do you think if she's the one that come up with all those
I think she
outfits,
might be. I think that she might be.
Since she's the designer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's pretty good with it all.
And Lisa Rina, the instigator of everything. What do you think of her?
It's really funny. Lisa, I loved Lisa for so long, and she couldn't do any wrong. And I'm starting to have a totally different impression of Lisa now. I mean, you know what it is? I don't, once I think that you are trying, then I'm not interested anymore. And like, people have been talking about this for years. I never saw it, I never got it. And like, the light has finally gone on to me. I think Lisa is really trying to like produce the same thing
Yes,
Lisa Vanderpump has been accused of
exactly.
for all these years. Now I get it. That's what I think Lisa's trying to do. And now I just hate that. That's like such a turnoff to me once you're trying to do that.
It's like she's overdoing it to the point that,
And she's trying.
yeah,
And so that's not fun,
no, it is not.
you
But
know?
she doesn't want to talk about her life and with her husband and her kids. That's a whole
Well, she's
other
bringing,
thing.
right, and she's bringing drama around everyone else, and she's just trying. And I think Lisa will do anything for the show,
Yes.
anything. So, like, again, I think that's really sad that you are taking this friendship that you've had forever
And
with
throwing it
Denise.
throwing it
Yeah.
away. Yeah.
That's really sad to me,
Yeah.
just for a TV show, you know? So that's just kind of crazy to me.
And what do you think about Bravo asking Brandy Glenville to be back on the show, even if it's like part-time?
I mean, look, Brandy's doing her job, right? I mean, look
Yeah,
at all the
but-
drama that she caused.
Yeah, but it's drama that shouldn't be drama.
Right.
It's like, okay, even if they had a threesome, why go on national TV and expose her like that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, she's not my favorite, Brandy. I mean, she's not my favorite. I think it's, she's brought it, but yeah, I mean, she's not my favorite just as a person, so to speak, let's just say.
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, like, yeah, she's brought it and it's interesting, but she's not my favorite.
Yeah. Bravo must have been very desperate, like, and a desperation for them to bring back Brandy. So that means if Brandy didn't show up, the other housewife wouldn't have a storyline.
Pretty much, right? I mean, that's pretty much where we're going.
So what other housewives and their franchise that you like? Like from the Atlanta, New York?
Atlanta to me is all stars. I love Kenya Moore. Lots of people don't. I love Kenya Moore. I cannot get enough of Kenya Moore. I just literally cannot get enough of her.
It's like a love-hate thing with Kenya.
It's like a love-hate thing. I love her. I mean, I love Candy. Atlanta as a franchise, I just love. I just literally love Atlanta. I think it's such a good franchise.
You don't think that Candy, she's a bore? No?
She's a bore, but I love her.
Okay.
She's a different type of bore because she's Candy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's just, I don't know. There's something, so she gets a pass. She gets a pass for me.
That woman, it's like every week or month she comes up with a new business. And I'm like, how do you do it?
She's just like, listen, she's hustling. She's making the money. I don't know. There's something about her that I just love.
Want to advertise, sponsor, or you would like to be a guest on the Hype Club podcast? Send us an email at thehypeclubpodcast@gmail.com or go to our website at thehypeclubpodcast.com. To keep up with all the episodes, subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or on all platforms where podcasts are available. Also share, review, and rate the Hype Club podcast for a chance to receive a shout out on our next episode. What about Nene? Do you think she's coming back or?
We go through this every year with her. I think Nene, someone just asked me this in an interview too. I think Nene is 1 billion trillion million% coming back. She's not going to walk away from $2 million. She's not. And we go through this every year. And I don't know if it's just a drama tactic. It's just to get attention. But like, is Nene really not coming back? I don't know.
Do you think she needs the show or the show needs her?
I think she needs the show.
Yeah,
If
same
Nene
here.
weren't there, you mean to tell me that Kenya Moore and Cynthia and Portia and Candy and friend of Marlo Hampton, who was also on my podcast,
Yes,
you
Marlo.
you you mean to tell me, and maybe even we'll invite Giovanna on, maybe we'll have Tanya. You mean to tell me that's not going to be a blockbuster show without Nene? Nene's not even there. She wasn't even there last season. I think the show I really, truly do not think the show needs her. I'm like really strong. I feel really strongly about that.
I think they should try at least for 2 years without Nene to see
Yeah,
how,
try it.
and to give the other women like a chance to blossom, like show what, their potentials.
I don't think it would miss a beat. I really don't think it would miss a beat. I think the whole show would just go on. It would just go on just fine.
I think so too.
I really do.
Same here. I think that she needs the show. The show don't.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. Yeah. And what about Portia? What do you think?
I like Portia. She's not my favorite. I have to be honest with
you.
Oh,
no?
My favorite is Kenya, and I love Cynthia and Candy. Those are the three. I don't know. There's something about Candy, even though, yes, I do think she's on the boring side. There's something about her that I just love.
Were you surprised, talking about Candy, were you surprised? Did you watch her on The Mask?
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I guess I should have known it was her, but I didn't.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
Even sorry.
I know.
Even with that voice?
At some points, but then I'm like, no, it's not her. Like, I talked myself out of it, and then I was convinced that it wasn't her.
I know. She has, I'm not trying to be mean, sorry, Candy, but she has, her voice.
I could see that.
Yes. Like, you can close your eyes and she would sing, you would say, okay, that's Candy. Like, she has, let's just say, a special tone in her voice when she sings that it's clear. Like, as soon as I heard her singing, I was like, it's Candy.
Really?
Yeah.
You knew, like, right away.
Yes. And I think a lot of people knew, because I'm telling you, she has a tone, a voice tone that you can't miss it. Do 5 minutes, okay? Listen to a song of one of her songs, and then go back and listen to a song that she did on The Mask show, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna go listen.
Yeah, that was an easy one.
I'm gonna have to listen.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I kind of knew it was her, and then I was like, no, it's not. And then, of course, it is. So there you go.
So let's go with the New York girls. Ladies, what a show. Sometimes I do find it boring, but at other times, they can bring it. So what is New York, the Real Housewives of New York, one of your favorite?
Listen, I live in New York, so to me, it's like, it's just what I know. It's just what I know. So, yeah, I think it is my favorite franchise, actually.
And who's your favorite? You said Ramona, right? From that
Ramona.
franchise. Yeah.
Yeah.
What Ramona. You thought about Leah, the new girl that this season?
Leah, it's like funny. It's like I know Leah, I know her sister, but I mean, people loved Leah in the beginning, and I'm not so sure that everybody does now.
No, I know. At the beginning, I was like, oh, okay, refreshing. Like, let's see what she's going to bring to the show. And I started to like her. And then at the end, I'm like, she's like the others.
You, like, kind of changed your mind, right? I get it.
And it seems like, I don't know. You met them. I don't know any of them. But it seems like they're all drunk.
They certainly drink more than the other franchises now, don't they?
Do you think 1, 2, 3, all of them may have a problem, a drinking problem?
Well, let me put it this way. I mean, Luann went to AA, so Luann admittedly has a drinking problem. And
apart from that. Yeah.
I do not think Ramona has a drinking problem.
I don't think
I don't think Ramona does.
That one, she's She's
I
okay.
don't.
I don't think. I'm with you on that.
And I'm trying to think of everyone else. And I don't think Tinsley does.
I'm with you on that also. What about
You
Bethany
know,
when she
no,
was one choice? No.
no,
Okay.
no. Bethany doesn't. You know what it is living in New York? It's like we just drink more here.
How great. I mean, if that's a problem.
I mean, this really is. I mean, this is why it's my favorite franchise. It's what I know. I mean, this is just what we do.
It's as long as you're not hurting anybody. So,
You
you
know?
know, have fun and enjoy yourself. But Dorinda, we need to talk about Dorinda. Do you think she has a drinking problem?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I drink so much myself. So for me, it's like to think someone has a drinking problem, I don't know. It just says a lot to me, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I think they all could stand to sober up a little, but I mean, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Dorinda, I don't think she has a drinking problem. I just think that she's hiding her true feelings, her true emotional feelings, because that's relating to her late husband.
Yeah.
She never processed it. I believe she never processed it mentally, emotionally, and I think she's hiding from that, and that's why she couldn't make her last relationship with John, I think, work, because she only had Richard on her mind.
That makes sense.
And I think now maybe she's starting, maybe this season, like she's gonna start to deal with it. But I think most of her drinking, it's because she's hiding. She's hiding behind it because she doesn't want to face reality.
And I mean, look, I mean, isn't that why we all drink? It's like an
Yes.
escape from reality. You know, it's like an escape from reality for a minute. And
Yeah, but for a minute or two
For a
or
minute.
three, but you know, not your whole life.
Not for your whole life. No. I mean, that's the thing about me and my drinking, and I'm not justifying it. I'm like a night drinker. Yeah, I like drinking during the day, but I don't drink vodka during the day. I just don't like, I mean, for me to like wake up and start drinking, never been there, never. It's just not my thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But again, I'm not making any judgments. I really just think this is how it is in New York.
And Sonia, I love her. She's my favorite one. On the Real Housewife of New York, it's Sonia.
She's a good one to have as your favorite.
She's amazing. She's funny, hilarious. She's smart. And
Listen,
she's
and
just a good time to watch.
Well, here's the thing also about Sonia in like real life. Sonia would not hurt a fly. Like there's not a malicious bone in Sonia's body. You know, so like anything that happens with Sonia, it's like there's no ill will. You know, I mean, honestly, that's how she is as a person. And so anything that comes across like that, it's like it's not received the right way, if that makes sense. Because yes. Sonia is like the nicest, sweetest person ever.
I mean, that's what, when I'm watching her on The Housewives, that's what I see. Like exactly how you just described her. That's
how she is in real life too. So
it's good to know that that's how she is, you know, in real life. Yeah,
totally.
That's great. Let's go to the Housewife of New Jersey.
Yes.
You watch? Yeah.
Those are a lot of my buddies.
Who was the last one that you had, I don't know, a coffee or
probably Margaret? I was just thinking probably Margaret.
Margaret.
She's the last one I spoke to. Oh yeah, Margaret is like salt of the earth, just how you see her. If you met Margaret, she would give you her phone number. Margaret is the nicest person ever.
Did she have her pigtails or normal hair?
Normal most of the time.
Normal?
Sometimes pigtails, but mostly normal.
Okay. And what about Jennifer?
I'll take a pass. I'm going to take a pass on that one. Do you like Jennifer?
No.
I'm going to take a pass. I'm going to take a pass on Jennifer. Jennifer and I used to be friends. We actually used to be friends. Oh, I used to be really good friends with her. I was at her house all the time. Like less than 2 years.
Okay. Well, you went to her house, so
Well, no more. I am going to move on from Jennifer. We'll just leave it at that.
Oh, okay.
You know what it is? It's like I said, once I think
I wanna know what happened.
well, here's the thing. Once I think somebody wants to be there so bad, like I like it when you're like, you don't really care if you're there or not. Like you got other things going on.
Mm-hmm.
You're not
Like you're
trying.
authentic.
Yeah. And so it just, yeah. Yes. When you want it so bad, it's like, oh, it's thirst. I just don't like the thirst.
Jennifer the Thirst. Okay.
She's thirsty.
Yeah, the way that you describe her, that's when I'm watching her on New Jersey, that's what I see. Someone desperate
Yeah, it's thirsty.
That will do anything to be, unseen.
Yeah, well, your thoughts of what you see are correct.
Let's go with Jackie. What do you think of Miss Jackie?
I think Jackie is really smart, really educated. I think she is authentic. I don't think she's willing to make a fool out of herself for a moment on TV. You know, when this ends for all of these women, and it does end for everybody, like, what are you going to do after? You know, and to me, it's like, Jackie could have a career as a writer. You know what I mean? Like Jackie does other things. Like I think Jackie has a platform when all this is over to do something.
Like she doesn't need the show.
And she's doing things, you know? And so it's like, I don't think she's willing to go there and just like roll up her sleeves and make a total fool of herself. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
Like she's not scared of nobody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think she's authentic, and just in real life, knowing Jackie, like in real life, Jackie is like wonderful and nice and wonderful.
And what about Melissa?
Melissa's nice. She's nice.
Yeah, I think she's cool, you know, from what I can see.
I love Melissa.
Yeah, I don't have nothing.
And like Joe Gorga's like like Joe's the nicest person possible. Like
Joe is so funny.
Another just like real salt of the earth, real person.
He's so funny, Joe.
Oh my God. Dolores, that's like a Margaret to me, like family. Like Dolores is truly, I'm not even joking, the nicest human being I have ever met in my entire life. I really don't even understand how Dolores does what she does. She spends so much time giving her time and just everything to all these charities. I don't understand. Like if I was half the person that she was, as far as being a nice, wonderful person, like Dolores is literally the nicest. Literally.
They should show that more on the show on New Jersey.
Maybe this season we'll get more into her charity, but like she's just literally the nicest person. I don't even know what else to say.
Of course, don't piss her because
she'll go there.
Yeah, she'll go there, but apart from that, I think she should be.
Listen, Dolores is from Paterson, New Jersey, and for those who don't live in the New York, New Jersey area, Paterson, New Jersey is no joke. Like that's where my friend Kim D is from. Like Paterson is tough. So Dolores will go there if you come for her. Don't get me wrong, but she's a wonderful person.
Well, Teresa, of course, Teresa.
Yes, listen. Teresa is like Luann. I mean, there doesn't need to be a storyline. You know what I mean? Like Teresa is just, look what she's given to this show from her life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's a lot. So, I mean, to me, it's like Teresa's given her whole life to this show, right? I mean, look at the things that have happened to her.
I know, like her in prison, and then Joe in prison, the girls. Like my heart goes for especially for the girls. Like they had to deal with all of that.
Right.
She's one of the few ones that really show everything.
Completely.
And she doesn't hold back.
Completely.
Does she have do you have any scoop on if she's with someone, she has a boyfriend?
I think this season, I mean, all I can say is I think we're going to see Teresa dating. I think we're going to see that, I think we're going to see her out there dating.
Is it that guy, the pool guy from last season?
That I don't know about,
Oh.
but I think we're going to see her dating this season, for real.
Interesting. Can't wait.
It's going to be good.
And I think I heard there was like a new one for this upcoming season. I think her name is Michelle. Michelle Payet or Pay. I don't know how to pronounce the last name.
Yes, but I'm not so sure she's an actual housewife. I have to get some more. It's funny.
Do you know her?
I don't know her, but I texted one of the housewives of New Jersey last night to say what's going on. I don't know. I'm not so sure that that she's an actual housewife. I'm not so sure that she's not a friend. So I have to get more information on that. But my understanding is that she's a friend and not a full-blown housewife. But I could be wrong, but I actually sent a text last night to try to get more information on that.
That's
or whatever that's worth.
Good
or whatever that's worth.
We want to know, like,
I believe
friend of the show, or
I believe also Teresa is the one that she knows. I think Teresa is kind of who she knows, but she might be a full-blown housewife. So there you go.
Let's go with the OC, Tamara.
She was on my Behind the Velvet Rope podcast, one of my favorite interviews of all time. Real, down to earth. I don't know why a lot of people don't like Tamara. I got so many DMs after she was on my show being like, blah, blah, blah. I think Tamara's a good time. She's a good time.
Shannon. Do you think Shannon betrayed Tamara and Vicky?
It's a little bit upsetting. I'm shocked that they have fallen out. I'm shocked. I literally am shocked. It makes me think less of Shannon. I mean, that your job is that important.
Yeah, that as soon as she heard that they were fired, I don't know you. Like, who does that?
Seriously.
So I think they felt they were hurt. Because I would be, wouldn't you?
Very much so, yeah. Of course.
And do you think that Tamara and Vicky will be able to survive without now being on the
Vicky Tamara has Cut Fitness. She has a very successful CV business. Vicky has Kodo Insurance. Yes. I mean, was working. Like, every time I've talked to Vicky in the past few, Vicky works. She goes to work. Like, she has a real job.
Okay, so she won't starve,
No, I think they're both going to be just fine. And who knows, maybe we'll see them back on TV one day.
And what's her name? That's how much I don't like her, that I forgot her name.
Kelly's God.
Yes. Some of the things that she says are
a little suspect. Yeah, totally.
And Vicky, she's married, right? I think I saw a post about that.
No, but she is with her boyfriend or fiance, I should say, but they are not married at this current time.
They're not married yet?
No.
I thought she was married.
No.
I saw something.
Maybe it was just his birthday. It was just his birthday. Maybe that's what it was.
No, the article said something like they had a secret wedding on an island. I forgot where I saw it, but yeah.
No.
Oh, well, good to know. Well, not good to know. Not good to know, but, the record said. So she's not married. Vicky's not married. What's the next franchise you would want to see on TV?
Well, Salt Lake is going to be great.
Salt Lake. Okay, so are they doing it, or
they're doing it? No, they're doing it. Salt Lake City, yeah. I already know one of the girls from that very well. Just, I know her. It's going to be, I think Salt Lake is going to be great. It should be here.
And who's that person? Does she have a name? Do you have a name?
I have a name, but
What's the name?
Well, if you Google people that are supposed to be on the cast, you can see one of them I'm very good friends with. Okay. But I think Salt Lake is definitely coming in October, maybe November.
Okay, and one last question regarding the Housewives. Do you think that Bethany will ever come back to New York?
I really don't. I really don't.
Okay, so that's it for her.
Yeah, I think this is it for Bethany.
Okay. I wanted to ask you a question about one of your guests that you had recently, Cedric.
Oh, yes.
I listened to that interview and I was like, is he kidding or like
Listen,
I don't believe him.
well, here's the thing I've always said about all my guests, because I have a lot of different guests. I feel when you come on my show, my goal is this is your platform. You now can tell your truth. This is your time to tell your truth. I will not comment. I have my own feelings about every guest that comes on my show. I feel some of them are they're all telling their truth.
Yes, they're true.
Some of them are telling what is the truth. Some of them are not telling the truth. And this is not directed towards Cedric. And some of them just want to use my show because I get a ton of press and I'm in all the magazines for some fame. So I feel once someone comes on my show and tells their truth, it's really up to the audience and listeners to decide. Mm-hmm. And so like, and I love that discussion. I love when people say, now I don't believe this person I used to. Now I like this person better, or this person is full of shit. I don't buy it. So, yeah. I mean, to me, it's like, but you're not alone. So you think that.
Well, as a listener of your show, and when I heard that episode and everything that he was saying, how scared he was, like scared of what? I think like he. And my own opinion, okay, that's my own opinion. I think that he created a scenario, a story in his head to stay relevant. And like you said, some people you must know them because you invite them. Some people, they're going to use your show to get publicity. And I think that's he's one of them. I may be wrong.
Yeah, right? No, I mean,
know, but that's my opinion.
That was your opinion.
Yeah. So moving along, because you won't comment on that.
I get it.
Yeah.
And I have my own opinion too, but I just feel it's not my place as the host to reveal my opinion.
Yes. No, I totally
good or
understand.
bad, and it has nothing to do with Cedric, just in general.
I totally understand. Well, David, it was great to talk to you.
It was great to talk to you too. I really enjoyed you inviting me on.
Same here. You know, you said a lot of interesting things. I would like you to give me more scoop, but like you said, you can't.
I gave you some stuff though. I
yes.
gave you some.
Yes, you did. And thank you for that. Before I let you go, can you tell us where we can find you on social media?
Yes. You can find me at, on Instagram is the easiest. It's Behind Velvet Rope. There's no the in it. It's just Behind Velvet Rope. And on Apple, Behind the Velvet Rope, if you just type in Behind the Velvet Rope, or my name, David Yontef, Yontef, my podcast will come up. And really my podcast is turned into interviews with Bravo celebrities. So if someone wants an interview with a Bravo celebrity to hear what they say, that is what you can go to my podcast and listen. And sometimes I talk about behind the scenes stuff too, et cetera, et cetera. So Behind Velvet Rope or Behind the Velvet Rope on Apple. And I really appreciate you having me on.
No problem. I know that you had, it was 4 days. Now you're 5 days. Can you talk about that?
I can't keep up. There's a wait list. These people want to come on my show. They all want to come on my show. So I'm not one to say no to people. You know, I'm not one to say no. So we're 5 days a week. I mean, and even with that, there's just a wait list. I cannot keep up fast enough. But we have people from every single Bravo show possible. So, I mean, think of a Bravo show. We have someone coming up. Like, it's just, we're 5 days a week. That's what the people want, and I've given it to them.
Well, we want more, and that's not a bad problem to have. You know, that's not a bad problem to have. Okay, David, so thank you very much. And like you said, we'll go follow him on all his social media and subscribe to his show, Behind the Velvet Rope. Thank you, David.
Anytime. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you all for listening to another episode of the Hype Club podcast. Tune in next week for the latest world and entertainment news. Until then, have a great week.